What's up, nerds? My name is Brian, and today I got a package from the Cuberus.com, but I bought these cubes through Amazon. So you can start to see, this is the unboxing experience of these two cubes. There we go, Cuberus.com. I got a Shangshao 9x9 with the kind of old school Stefan Pachmann Super Cube stickers. You can see the four triangles that kind of radiate from the center of the cube. Like, there's a color in each of those triangles, and that's the main color face of the adjacent side, you know, that the triangle points to. So I've actually never solved a larger order Super Cube like this, but I really wanted to get it. And it was pretty comparatively priced in comparison to a lot of the other Pokemon Super Cubes, like in terms of, 5x5, 6x6, etc. This thing turns pretty good. It's definitely not magnetic. It's pretty standard, and it actually confirmed my original suspicion. Well, I am pretty much just new because of how these stickers were printed, but this is a Shangshao, and here's the insides. And if I just take my old Shangshao 9x9, which just happens to have a super flip on it, you can tell that these puzzles are the same. Like, it's the same puzzle. So that's cool. They printed this whole series of Pokemon Super Cube stickers. A lot of them were for like the larger Shangshao cubes because that's what was available at the time, when these were coming out. And this puzzle honestly turns really good. Like, you're not going to speed solve with this thing. You can see how jagged the layers are, like when I was turning it, and just kind of right here, the stickers. But, it turns really good for just casual solving. So here is... that logo is sweet. I don't know if you saw that. But yeah, they gave us some free lube, and I ended up needing that, and check that dude out. That's pretty cool. Alright. No, they're doing it again. They're really pushing that. Alright, there's the unboxing of what we came here for, the 3x3 2-solution horror cube. This, a lot of people think this is stupid because, like, the colors make no sense, but it's, like, geometrically solved here, which is pretty cool. Like, if this cube could only be solved this way, you're like, what's the point? But this cube is pretty neat. I'm noticing the faces of the cube have this very sandy paper. It's really a papery, sort of a matte feeling. First turns are a little disappointing. It's really not moving well. Like, I remember this being super stiff and just, like... Not amazing. It's not bad, it works, and it's a shape mod, so what do you expect? But I feel like this could have been a little bit better. So let's go ahead and do a checkerboard here, it looks like. You can see what that looks like, and it's just, based off of the geometry solution, not the color solution of this cube. And that's a checkerboard. You probably might just think it's scrambled when you look at it, so not amazing, just sort of okay, but kind of cool. That's what it looks like. What are you going to do about it? Alright, so now, that's one solution. This cube is hard to turn, so we're going to use their free lube to help us out. Let's scramble this thing up. That lisp sort of S there probably hurting your ears. That was not great. So here's a scrambled state, it looks pretty cool. So in this very first solve, this is just like in real time. I thought about editing it, but I think it's just kind of cooler to watch it just sort of happen and be like, wow, you're doing that wrong, or oh, that was cool the way he did that. You never know what might happen. So I thought they were harder to follow if I sped this footage up, so I'm just going to keep it in real time, and I think that's just going to be sort of a theme of any sort of solving I do on this channel. But anyway, I'm doing C5, solving the cross. That was not efficient, but it's kind of hard to recognize stuff with the geometry. All the pieces being different shapes. And, different, really, I guess, depths or lengths, whatever you want to call it there. But it makes just general 3x3 recognition much harder. But, that's kind of what gives this cube a lot of personality and what makes it fun. Looks like I got a pair here. I'll go ahead and put that in. Not that was a bad idea. This is sort of a rookie move here. You could see how I was having a hard time turning the cube there. It's catching. After putting the Cuberus lube in, it actually turned out to be like really loose and kind of floppy. Like, it really was not very stable. But that didn't seem like anything I couldn't just fix with tensioning.
Are you listening? Damn.
Whenever I work on shape mods and stuff like this, I always just go back to the beginner method in terms of, you know, probably the first thing a lot of us learned was just, you know, well, just the beginner method, you know what I'm talking about. And that makes it a lot easier, especially when you get to the last layer. It's kind of hard to execute those algorithms that you just have committed to muscle memory to do them really slow and crunchy and, you know, choppy like, because you don't really know how to say them out loud and what to do. You just kind of do it with your muscle memory. A lot of you guys know it. Well, chances are you're probably faster than me at speed solves. But beginner method's super powerful for all kinds of shape mods and non-WCA stuff in general. Alright, looks like we're trying to get the yellow cross at this point. I can kind of see that, well, the L, or I don't know why I want to call it a U right now, but that shape right there, that's easy to recognize. You see that? That looks like a soon. Let's go ahead and try it out. Let's see what happens. I'm pretty sure it doesn't actually work. Look like it should, though. No good. I'm apparently confused by it. But anyway, up to this point, this puzzle's actually been pretty fun to solve. It's interesting to solve it in such a weird, unsolved shape. That's kind of what, you know, a lot of these puzzles are all about. So this has been interesting, not terribly difficult. Like at this point, I can recognize what's going on. It's really easy to make mistakes. Obviously, I just did. But ooh, look at that. We can go ahead and cycle the corners. That's a good little algorithm. I use that on lots of non-WCA stuff right there. Well, it looks like all my corners are in the right spot, just not oriented properly. So, you know, you could probably find some sort of elegant way to do this, but going back to the beginner method, just, you know, bring it down, move it over, push it up, and then bring it back. You do that forever. Just sort of till your pieces are matched up, move your top layer, just keep going. And there we go, we got it again. I guess really, I mean, it's an R prime, D, R, D prime. But it's more of the idea that's important. And there we go, look at that. This, I think, is the cooler of the two solved positions, because I mean, this is a solved cube, even though it looks all crazy. It's like, what's wrong with that thing, man? Got exploded. Nope, that's just what it looks like when it's solved. Here's some really nice quality footage of me struggling to get this cube to sit on a cube stand. Yeah, it does not work. Hey, look, I got it. You know, this must be for the thumbnail. We'll see what happens. That does not fit on a cube stand, as you can see. It looks pretty cool, just leaning up all crazy and sideways and wonky on a shelf anyway. Here's, I guess, probably just one last look at it solved in this position. Like I said, I think this is the cooler of the two. You've already seen the other, and we're going to scramble it. So now I guess is a good time to go ahead and look down at the timer and say, well, you know, it's 9 minutes. There's still like 7 minutes of this video, or remaining at least. Do I really want to sit here and watch this guy do a 3x3 mirror block solve? Well, if you've never seen one, it might be kind of cool to look at. I mean, it's crazy. That's why we do it. It's not a tutorial. Yeah, this will just be sort of commentary. Because, yeah, this is a weird cube, and I definitely don't claim to be intelligent enough to teach a tutorial about the mirror blocks. Looks like I got, you know, I'm working on the cross here. So if you are not a huge cube person and you're wondering what in the world you're looking at, this is a cube where we don't solve it by colors, but we solve it by shape. So you're trying to make sure that each of the pieces are essentially the right dimensions, and then you kind of solve it in that position, and the colors will look all crazy, but once it's all said and done, it'll be a perfect cube. And that's kind of what makes this puzzle interesting. Normally, these puzzles are, you know, coated with a really shiny silver surface, like that's why we call them mirror blocks, or at least I'd assume that's why. I mean, it looks like a mirror. You know, that seems logical. And, you know, there's no colors at all, so you're just really focused on shapes. This one just happens to have colors, which is, I think, sort of in a psychological way kind of messes with you. Like, once you're, like, you know, cuber and you know what's going on, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, just the shapes and stuff. But at first, it looks pretty wonky, and it's hard to follow, that's for sure. Like, I have a 3x3 mirror blocks, and, you know, I actually really enjoy it, but thinking about it, you know, out loud, I guess I've probably only ever solved that thing. I mean, it's probably more than 10 times. We'll call it like 11. Somewhere between 10 and 12 times have I solved mine. But there are, like, people on, like, speed solving, like the weekly forum, who are just solving these things like crazy fast. So, I am in no way trying to exemplify the way to solve these things. Since this is just sort of a very awkward live sort of commentary thing, and I mean, I don't have a lot to say about this because I don't know what I'm doing. Let's go ahead and, yeah, look at this. I think it's okay to say it. Braden Richards. Braden the Magician, what's up, man? You are averaging 18.21 on the mirror blocks, an average of 5 right there. That's ridiculously fast. Like, it took me 18 seconds to wonder where the first piece was. Like, that's pretty cool. Shout out to him, that's great. You can see here, at this point, it looks like I have the cross down. I'm working on corner edge pairs. Yep. Cross is definitely complete. You know that because the centers, like, form a straight wall down to the bottom face, because we're solving this thing by shape. Looks like at this point I know what's going on with my F2L pair. Let's put this guy in the back. Is that what's going on? No, I did that on the 3x3 solve. Oh, there's a corner. I'm not sure live commentary would have been any better. It would have just been me going like, just like thinking about what is going on and why these pieces don't match. And it's like, oh yeah, because you're wrong.
Yeah, you ready?
And that's, I just got like cut off by my past self there, the audio. It was time to go for a walk. Walking is nice, being outside is quite pleasant. And I was trying to race to finish this cube in order to do it before the sun goes down, because if you're like me or any sort of living thing, probably, you're like, man, we gotta do stuff before the sun goes down. Some people like to do stuff when when the moon comes up, which is when the sun goes down. But getting outside in the wintertime, you know, the heart of the darkness is quite important. And that's me telling you about the fact that even though I'm solving this cube, I'm about to go for a walk before the sun goes down. But, you know, if I was better at this, I could already be walking by now. But nope. Even there, I don't even know what still don't recognize my case. So this whole time during this commentary, I've been listening to Galactic Pegasus, band I saw on a YouTube compilation video. Bunch of nice metal stuff. These guys are aggressive, not your everyday voiceover commentary music. But I like it that way. That looks like a bar, although that blue, what is that, blue and orange piece? That thing looks like it's the wrong height. I spent a while wondering what to do with this part of the video. Why did it spend that long? But I was thinking about it, I was like, well, what are you going to do? You're like I have nothing interesting to say per se, and I think watching this solve at any speed other than real time sort of takes away from it. So it's like, well, you know, we'll just talk about our solves. Like, that's okay. I can't teach you how to do it, but like, I saw some stuff. It's like, whoa, look, I did that wrong, or oh, look at that, or nothing else. Just like, this is how I do it. And then someone out there is like, wow, I get the idea, and then they're just like 10 times faster than you next week, because that's how it works. Still trying to get this top face. Looks like my camera angle's a little bit off. Anyway, this is a weird style of video. Like I said, this is just a sort of a voiceover commentary of this particular solve in real time. There's 2 of them, and this one seems to be much harder for me. I mean, it's really because recognition is not the same. On the first solution, you can still just use colors, which we all are very good at. And this is just all shape, so it's totally different. Looks like I got my top cross there, and it's all about getting these corners in the right place. Yeah, it looks like just going to do a 3 cycle from the position it happened to be in. That's not okay. Let's do it one more time. Again, beginner method, very useful. Look at that, right place. Wrong orientation. Go ahead and do the move here, R prime D, R D prime. Do it till it's solved, like right there. Move your other messed up piece in, do it again. Make sure to complete all 4 moves of that. Then I guess it's probably a commutator, right? 4 moves, you got the move and then the inverse. And the cube is solved. So here it is. It's kind of disturbing to look at, actually. A lot of people would freak out. They're like, what, you got unsolved cubes on your shelf? And I was one of those people for a very long time, but then I